Do you know what refers when we say stative verbs? What does it refer?
Yes, teacher, it refers to verbs that don't reflect action. They are used for feelings, opinions, and thoughts.
Okay. Yeah, those are, there is a group of verbs that are a group of verbs that is called stative verbs, right? Now let's see what your partner was reading. Practice B. Notice, complete the table with the example from the text that you read many times in exercise. Discuss the difference in meaning between the stative and non-stative. So you have to the difference, discuss the difference, the meaning, the difference in meaning between stative and non-stative using or the uses, stative and non-stative uses of a verb. A stative verb and non-stative use. So we have here be, have, look, see, think. So it means that can be used, be can be used as stative, an stative verb. And also as a non-stative use. The same for have, look, see, and think. Okay. Now, completely, you have 1 minute. Complete. 1 to 3. If you finish, tell me, and you're going to be the volunteer.
Have high and
Sorry. Those countries
often have high, high unemployment.
often have high unemployment.
Yes, teacher.
Number 2,
Okay, teacher. They are having a major effect.
is that all? They are having a major effect.
On developing.
They're having a major effect on developing.
Yes.
Missing. On developing.
Countries around the world.
Yes. Countries around the world. Number 3.
It looks if
It
multinational
looks
corporations are here to stay.
Mariana was talking. Livio was. Mariana for. Livio.
teacher, it looks as if a multinational corporation are here to stay.
A multinational corporation
are here to stay.
Okay.
Thanks, teacher.
4.
You see signs advertising multinational corporations.
You see
Signs advertising
okay, you see signs, signs advertising.
advertising multinational corporations.
Okay, next.
Me, teacher, some people think that large companies take money out of the country.
Some people
Yes,
again please, some people
some
are,
people think that large companies think that large companies
thinking, think that, not think that large companies. Okay, 6. Six. Six.
Think, thinking of applying for job with such company.
Thinking.
Yes. Thinking of applying for job with such company.
Okay. Thinking of applying, but this thinking has a previous word that makes it progressive. Young people. Young people are. Young people are thinking. Good. So, what does it say? Now, let's focus on this part as well. Janet, read please.
Okay, stative verbs are not normally used in progressive tenses. However, there are a number of verbs that have both stative and not stative use.
Okay. Stative, as it says, stative verbs are not normally used in progressive. Okay, are not normally used in progressive. However, so we were saying, right, that these stative verbs be, have, look, see, think are not normally used in progressive tenses. Progressive tenses. However, there are a number of verbs. There are a number of verbs that have both stative, and non-stative use. Stative and non-stative use. Example, 1. With B. Multinational corporations are everywhere. Multinational corporations are everywhere these days. This is a stative. It's just you are just saying what you think are. With B, we are now using non-stative. Oh, you're being ridiculous. So, as you can see now, we are using in progressive. Oh, you're being ridiculous. What's the difference between multinational corporations are everywhere these days? A non-stative verb is used in progressive. Oh, you're being ridiculous. In that moment, you're seeing someone, somebody, and you can say you're being ridiculous. Okay. Another example we have. In that case, we are having be as an stative verb and be as an in a progressive form, non-stative verb used in a progressive. Have those countries often have high. Look at those countries often have high unemployment. Have is an stative verb. In this case, we are using not in progressive because the meaning is just an opinion. Okay. Here, they are having a major. They are having a major effect on. They are having progressive. They're having a major effect on developed countries around the world. So at that moment, at that time, it's causing an action. Okay, they are having. Here we have looks as an stative verb. And here, what are you looking at? What are you looking? What are you looking at? Progressive. At that moment, the action is happening. Stative, non-stative, in progressive. Next, see. You see signs advertising multinational. You see, you are walking in a street, and you see signs advertising everywhere. And Jane has been seeing Tom for 2 years now. Has been seeing. Present perfect progressive. Jenny has been seeing Tom for 2 years. That means that Jenny is meeting him, has been seeing, dating him. I don't know. think. Some people think, so see and think. Some people think that large companies take money. This is all. Take money out of, so out of the country. Opinion. Young people are thinking. Young people are thinking of applying for jobs with such companies. Progressive. Stative, non-stative verb in a progressive. Okay. Stative verb in a progressive. That is a non-stative verb. Okay. So those are examples. Those are examples of a verb. How you use into a stative verb. How to use a stative verb in a context. Okay. So these verbs in this context, it doesn't show an action. Okay. And these, the same verbs in this context shows action. Okay. That is. Also, we have here more about these verbs. What does it say here? Read, please. Gabriela.
Okay, teacher. Stative verbs often refer to mental states, believe, feel, know, like, etc. Senses, look, hear, see, sound, etc. And communication and reactions, agree, deny, mean, promise, prefer, etc.
Okay, we have more stative verbs here, right? Apart from have, they have, look, see, think. Which ones? Believe, feel, known, like. Mm, do we have seen? Oh yeah, and it says, okay, so stative verbs often refer to mental states, okay? Believe, feel, know, like. As a sense, look, hear. Also, as you can see, they are divided in groups. Mental state, sense, look, hear, seem, sound, and communication and reactions. Communications and reactions. Which ones? Agree, deny, mean, promise, prefer. Okay, I will give you a, there is, maybe you have grammar books. In your grammar books, there are these verbs as it is referring here in different, divided in groups. Okay, so you can look at the index at the end of the book, and there is the list of the stative verbs. Okay, if not, I will give you, I will share with you a PDF. Okay. Now questions.
Teacher, the no stative use always is in progressive.
Non-stative verb. It says
Yes.
non-stative verbs are sometimes known as a action verbs, not all the time. Okay, so non-stative verbs are sometimes known as action verbs. But as I told you, it will depend on the context. The context, it's important to know that this stative verb is non-stative verb. Okay, you're being ridiculous. It's different to say you are ridiculous. Okay, you are ridiculous. Yeah, you see the person and you're ridiculous. And but you're being ridiculous that this person were acting in a different manner. That's why you say you're being the ridiculous. Calm down and look at the intonation as well. You're being ridiculous. This person was acting in a different manner. Okay, so the context which helps a lot to see that a non-stative verb is working in a progressive. Okay, a stative verb changes to non-stative verb. That means an stative verb changes or works as an action verb, as a non-stative verb. And it helps. How do we know that? The other words helps us to notice if a non-stative verb is working as an action verb. The same here. Have. They are having a major effect on developing countries. So something is having a major effect. What is in this context they are having? International companies, right? International companies are having a major effect. So the international companies are causing something around the world. Okay, having, are having. Okay, we can touch maybe, but we can see, we can notice that something is changing, something is happening, is different. Why? Because of international companies, because of something. Another example we can say, I'm having a good time, for example. Okay, so do you remember? There are some phrases with have. Some phrases with have. For example, I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time. Not I have a good time. I'm having a good time because I don't know, you in this moment, you're enjoying what is happening. A stative verb as an action verb. I'm having a good time. So those are a set of phrases. In this moment, you're feeling good. Similar to they are having a major effect. I'm having a good time. I'm having my breakfast. Okay. Those are expressions. Okay, that works. Next, look. What are they looking at? Look, it's an stative verb, but if the action is happening at that time, it's possible to use. What are they looking at? What are you looking at? Okay, because at that moment you're doing the action. See, the same. Maybe I used to see Paula at her window. Paula, I saw that Paula was sitting, or in this moment she's sitting at her window. And you can see Paula, and Paula is seeing somebody. Because you can see Paula, that Paula is looking at outside. And we can say seeing. Paula is seeing because at that moment, Paula is doing. You can see Paula. That. Okay, that is why we said that stative verbs can have action, can change into non-action verb. Another example, we think. Think, for example. I think I think that's true. I think that's true. Different to I'm thinking. I'm thinking. I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about getting. I'm thinking about getting job. I'm thinking about getting a job. Okay. Or I told you, so it depends on the context. You say something, you're listening in this moment, right? And somebody is bothering you, and you can say, be quiet. Be quiet. I'm thinking. I'm thinking about this grammar. Okay, so an stative verb now is working as a non-stative, as an action, because at that moment something is happening. You're thoughtful. Hey, what happened? Be quiet. I'm thinking about this grammar. Because at that moment you're thoughtful. So when an stative verb is a fact, an opinion, so it is stative. Okay, facts, opinions, they work as an stative. But when they are, when the action of these are happening at that moment, and the context helps you to say or to write or say them in a non-stative verb, the context will help you. Okay. Any other question? Did you get it or nothing?
I
As I said,
understand, teacher.
sorry.
I understand, teacher.
Thank you. Great. As I said, sometimes, not always. Okay. Sometimes are non-stative. Sometimes non-stative is just in progressives. It depends on the meaning. Okay. Let's continue now. Let's continue. What do we have? Practice. Now let's practice. It will help you a lot also to recognize if it is, not if, that an stative verb is non-stative. This context. So you have 1 minute to think, and I will ask you one by one. Do it, please. So, number one, Limber.
Okay, number one.
Oh, no, sorry, continue. Continue.
Number one, I am thinking of applying for a job with a large company.
Number two,
We don't have many large corporations here.
number three,
Working at restaurant is having a good effect on Richard.
four,
It looks to me as if we are losing our identity.
five,
Yes, I see. No, sorry. Yes, I am seeing your point of new
view.
view.
What do you think of multinational corporations?
Seven,
Me, teacher.
Teacher,
who's me?
Limber.
Limber.
There are fewer jobs for young people these days.
Eight,
Belen, teacher.
okay.
I saw Jim and Sabina downtown. Are they seeing each other?
Okay, let's check. One, correct. Two, correct. 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 And correct. What about five?
I
It's
think
incorrect.
yes,
Yes,
I
I
see your
see.
point of view.
your point.
Yes. Yes, I see. I see your point of view. So your point of view is not visible. It's you're giving an opinion. Okay. Good. Any questions? Okay, let's summarize saying like this. Okay. Think. If you use think, means just think, opinion. Okay, opinion. Progressive of think. I wanted to. Am I recording? No, right? Yeah. Think. Just think. Opinion. The progressive. If you use think in a progressive as a non-stative verb, it is for plan. Or consider facts carefully. Be quiet, I'm thinking. Okay, talking about think. Have, okay, have. When do we use have? We can say have. We use in progressive. Have for progressive. Have for progressive. Phrases. Have. Set of phrases. I'm having a good time. I'm having breakfast. Set of phrases. Set phrases or phrases. Okay. This is having a major effect on. I'm pointing just some of them. See, yeah, see, see. It is so. See means dating. Okay, see means dating. Dating somebody. So I'm seeing Pedro. So what's the meaning? That I am meeting him. I am going out with him because he's my friend, or maybe he's my boyfriend. So I'm dating him. Okay, I'm seeing Pedro. So with that, I will finish. Okay, stative verbs. Stative verbs used in non-stative verbs, with non-stative verbs. Okay, non-stative verbs. And those are the group of verbs. I will give you an extra grammar in order you to continue working on it. Okay, let's finish. That's all for today, my friends. For tomorrow, do it workbook as well. Workbook, page 11. Workbook, page 11, that is related with this grammar. Yeah, then it's listening. Okay, and tomorrow we're gonna work with this working pace. Now do the role play. Okay, do the role play and do the role play. Okay, so tomorrow we're gonna continue with this. Any questions? Is that's enough for today?